It's June 7th, a Sunday. This is Jennifer, and today I will be giving an update on my peppers. So a lot of the peppers that I will be showing today are new because my first batch of peppers went badly. I only had sweet peppers germinate and survive, so I had to do a second round of planting to get some hot peppers in. So these are the most recent peppers. This one, I believe, and the other two in this planter are limon, and these are about 22,000 Scoville units, so they're pretty hot, hotter than a jalapeno, but definitely nowhere near super hot. These were mainly raised indoors, so what happened is I had seeds that went all the way back to 2016. And because I had such poor since I didn't have any germination, what I did is I poured all the seeds into a cup, and then whatever seeds germinated, I went ahead and put them in their own cup until they grew up big enough to transplant outside. So of that, I ended up with 5 limon plants, and here they are. They've been in this planter for about 2 weeks, so they've caught on. They're looking really good. The other plants in this planter are eggplants and a squash. And this is a round cloth planter. It's 3 feet in diameter. This is a little jalapeno plant. It's doing all right. It's kind of light green, so I'm a little worried about it, but hopefully as it grows, it'll green up some. If not, there are plenty of other jalapeno plants in the yard. And on the other side of the planter is another jalapeno that looks like it's doing pretty good. I'm a little worried that it's trying to put out some fruits too soon. I think I'm going to pinch these off. There we go. Let it concentrate on growing some leaves and height before it starts putting on peppers. So in the other cloth planter are some guajillo peppers. So these are going quite nicely. He's a nice long boy here. And there are several peppers dangling off. This is a bell pepper. Oh no, sorry, it's a pasilla, or at least it's labeled pasilla, but this looks like a bell pepper. Interesting. I wonder if I got the labels wrong, because this looks more like a pasilla than it does look like, and this one looks like a bell pepper, but we'll see. It's hot. Although that's what it is. Over here is a yellow monster. So this is a bell pepper type. It's doing pretty well. And then back here is an alma paprika, and it's got some pretty big fruit. So this is probably my 4th year trying to grow these, and these are the biggest fruits I've seen so far on any of the plants I've grown, so I'm very hopeful that I'll actually have some peppers big enough to stuff. I want to bring some attention to this planter. So this box here is my shaded box, and it's covered with, I think this is 60 or 70% shade cloth, and I find that peppers really like being grown in this condition in my backyard since it gets so hot. And as you can see, these peppers are beautifully green and tall and productive. So if you live in zone 9, zone 10, zone 11, and your peppers are looking kind of beat down, consider providing them some shade such that they don't get too much sun and they don't get too hot. And it also helps keep the moisture in. So starting over here, is an unknown pepper. But it's probably some sort of bullhorns pepper. Nice big pepper here. The little guy's coming. This is a purple bell pepper. So nice fruits come in there. And over here is a grocery store poblano. Yeah, I believe so. So this was a plant that I seeded from a poblano pepper that I bought from the grocery store. It's a very big plant. It looks great though, and I'm really hopeful because the poblanos at the grocery store are huge. So I'm hoping that I can get some huge poblanos, bigger than when I buy the packet seed from the big box store. This one here is a sweet Spanish pepper. You can see some peppers here. Some more peppers coming. Over here is some self-seeded dill. It smells great. And it seems to love this shaded environment, so I'm feeling hopeful that I can actually have some dill over the summer. I think I'll tuck a few cilantro seeds in here too to see if I can get some of that, so I can have fresh salsa all year around instead of having to use frozen cilantro for my salsas. And then this one back here is one of those late jalapenos that I grew inside the house. And then over here is a jalapeno plant that I overwintered. So this is from last year and it's come back nicely. It's not one of those big huge grocery store jalapenos, rather this one's going to produce some small ones that get about this size. It might get a little fatter, but I don't think so. Pull some of these weeds here. Also in this box are some self-seeding potatoes, so I threw some potato peels out here and, well, potatoes came, so that's impressive. And then these over here, still trying to see if I can get some kaleettes, but it looks like this is just a big Jurassic kale plant. So over here, tucked between two tomato plants, is a sweet Spanish. I didn't expect these tomato plants to grow so big, so this poor little pepper is fighting for sunlight. We'll see how it ultimately does. On the other side of the planter is another sweet Spanish, and again it's fighting for sunlight amongst the tomato plants. So we'll see how this one does. This plant is supposedly a purple beauty, but doesn't look like it's putting up purple bell peppers. It's also rather small, so I think it might be best for me to go ahead and pinch these fruits off and see if the plant can concentrate instead on getting bigger and having more leaves and putting on fruit. I'm not sure why this one is so stunted, but anyhow, I'll give it a chance to grow by pinching those off. This one is a yellow monster, and it's got one big fruit on it. It's not as big as the other yellow monster plants in the yard. I'm not sure what's going on with this planter. Maybe it's too dark. So, because it does have a trellis above it instead of a shade cloth. The shade cloth is in front of it. So maybe this is not a good planter for peppers or tomatoes. I might want to try putting some green vegetables in here instead, some leafy greens, something like that. But I'll see how this goes. And then over here is another sweet Spanish. So It has a really big fruit on it, but the plant itself is small compared to the other sweet Spanish plants in the yard. Over here is another jalapeno plant that I overwintered. So this one produced last year, and it looks like it's coming back this year. This particular variety of jalapeno is called ringleader, and it produces big, meaty jalapenos that taste great on nachos. I'm looking forward to seeing if this one will produce big jalapenos again this year. It's quite a handsome plant. I like how bushy it is. Again, this is ringleader jalapeno. So this is a mystery pepper. I think it was one of those peppers that was growing on the side of a seed pellet, and I went ahead and gave it its own cup indoors and let it grow out. So we'll see what this is when the peppers arrive. And this is another Alma paprika, and this one is being grown in a pot, and it looks like some self-seeding basil is coming up next to it. It's not doing as well as the other Alma paprika, and it could be because of the lack of water. So of course, when you have it in a pot, the water evaporates much bigger than if you put it in a raised garden planter. So I may need to water this one more. It's looking pretty puny though. And that's all for the peppers in my yard. I think the next video I'll do will be about the squashes and the cucumbers in my yard. So please look forward to it.